What's up, guys? Happy Monday. The Braves signed outfielder Jordan Luplow to a 1-year, $1.4 million deal. He's a very, very, very good depth piece. Much better than Heredia. Probably on the same level as Grossman because Grossman crushes lefties at an 842 OPS versus lefties, 31 homers, 71 RBIs against southpaws with a 336 batting average with no shift, and the extreme shift is no longer in play, so that could help Jordan Luplow as well with a cannon for an arm, plays all three outfield positions. Well, likely right now the outfield will be Eddie Rosario against righties, Michael Harris II and Ronald Acuna Jr. is the current outfield as the outfield stands now. And Joseph, I haven't figured that out yet. I just got these. Hello, Hudson. I just got my brand started by Hudson, thankfully. So I really haven't crossed that bridge yet about selling merchandise and stuff. I would love to, but I just don't know if I'm that popular yet. So we'll see. I will let everybody know about that down the line. Yeah, I would like I would like a shortstop as well. Discuss Elvis Andrews, maybe a Gene Segura, but he struggles defensively too, so I don't even know if that would help. Although I do trust Ron Washington. I think the best vet out there is Elvis Andrews, to be honest. Otherwise, you're going slim pickings at this point. I mean, the roster still, even with the Jordan Luplow ad, has 2 spots remaining. I really like the Jordan Luplow ad, but it does cloud the outfield situation a little bit more with you got 6 at this point. Sam Hilliard, who's also a lefty. You've got Marcell Ozuna, Eddie Rosario, Michael Harris II, Ronald Acuna Jr. So it's very, very clouded. And now Jordan Luplow and Sam Hilliard is out of options. I feel like Jordan Luplow is definitely a better option than Sam Hilliard at this point, but we'll see how the battles in spring training go. But that is where the outfield situation stands, and obviously, if you could get rid of Marcell Ozuna, I'd do it in a heartbeat. But I don't think just straight cutting Marcell Ozuna is going to help anything because it's a lot of dead money. You got $37 million on the books for the next 2 years, or maybe it's 32. I know, but I feel like even if you have to send money in a deal and it affect the cap situation next year, I think you do it, but you have to get something for it. Yeah, I mean, again, it's only December 19th, so that might be an eventual thing for him. And I can't say I would be sad, honestly. With the baggage and not playing well last year at all and all the stuff that goes with it, I'd like to cut ties, but again, uh, money is precious in baseball, and especially for the Braves, who seemingly don't want to go over the luxury tax. But I don't. AA, as we know, doesn't make knee jerk moves just to make knee jerk moves. Um, yeah, I mean, Sam Hilliard will probably get to battle in spring training, but if he doesn't show much early, he'll probably be cut pretty quickly. And it was a small return for Sam Hilliard. Um, Dansby, Dansby got a good contract for himself, his wife, and for the market that it is. And I don't like that some Braves fans or just people overall are saying the Braves lowballed him. I think Alex Anthopoulos, per the reports, had been pretty clear that he wasn't um, gonna go over 17, 18 million per year. Um, so 6,100 was the offer we gave. Yeah, does that seem low? Yeah, but if that Alex Anthopoulos wasn't going to go above 17 18 per year, he got 25, 7 years, 177. And I mean, this year was his most consistent year offensively. You know what you get defensively, but that Cubs lineup is sure right now he's very, very, very hit or miss in terms of he can hit 050 for a 3 week stretch and then he can hit 410. So the value is what the value is, and Alex Anthopoulos pretty much makes that clear. And I don't think um now you can't hate him for taking advantage of what he was able to do this season. I'm gonna miss Dansby. I wanted him back, but long-term contracts very, very rarely work out in the long term. I guess you could say the Max Scherzer one with Washington and um, Bryce Harper with Philly has worked out for him individually, and they did make the World Series run this year, but he is going for Tommy John surgery. So I don't know. I do not know if you can necessarily say that's worked out completely because the Phillies hadn't made the playoffs in 11 consecutive years until this year. So I don't know if that's yeah, and the Jason Hayward contract kind of fell apart as well. Um, huh. Well, if the Red Stars are a dumpster fire, I wonder. Then aren't isn't the Red Stars in Chicago? So maybe I don't know how that played factor. Um, and no, you no, I definitely can't hate Dansby for anything that he he did or has done for us, and then got the bag. $177 million. I don't know if I could turn that down. I just don't. And with his agency being the same as Freddie, uh, a, they don't. AA and him, those guys don't seem to have a great relationship. So the writing was on the wall with Dansby. And like Hudson said, I can't fault him for anything. Happy for him. Hope he does well. Hope the Braves beat the Cubs when we play them, and we grab a couple of more World Series in the process. But it was pretty clear because I think the biggest oh yeah, that's right. That gross stuff. Yeah, that's brutal for Mallory and everybody that had to deal with that, and I hope they were able to clean it up, and I hope they're able to continue their careers and continue their success. But that's just unfortunate for them. But I do know that Dansby and Mallory are very, very, very happy based on their Instagram posts, and you can't fault them for that. And Dansby was one of my favorites and still will be, except when we play the Cubs. Um, Although I do have to change my picture on my YouTube. I haven't decided what to change it to because it was me and Dansby, and now it kind of feels awkward with him with the Cubs. But it is what it is, and super happy for Dansby. The latest deals were Joey Gallo to the Minnesota Twins, 1 year, $11 million. Michael Brantley back to the Astros. I haven't met Matt Olson yet, so can't change the picture. I say yet because I hope that happens, but let's see. Justin Turner, 2 year, $22 million to the Boston Red Sox. The Boston Red Sox are so weird. But I thought Justin Turner was going to be a Dodger lifer. Excuse me. But that's just no. I have not met Austin Riley. The only people I've met is JT, and then let's see the other ones. JD Martinez, 110 to the Dodgers. Yeah, I mean, so being a lifer for a team is just not feasible in this market of free agents unless you sign a long-term extension like the Braves have. So it's just how it is nowadays. But I keep going back to, and I'm not mad at Dansby whatsoever. I wish we got him back, but we didn't for the value and whatever the case. But the thing that I keep going back to is Chipper said, if you want to be a Brave, be a Brave. And clearly Dansby and Freddie didn't really. So it is what it is. And maybe we did lowball him a little bit, but I'm excited to see what happens. Again, I'm still a little weary of Vaughn Grisham as of right now as their starting shortstop, but we've been through a lot worse, and if Vaughn Grisham is if Vaughn Grisham is the answer at shortstop, you've got a lot of thunder around him, and he had a lot of big hits. And defensively, I think you just go with make the plays that you're supposed to make. And if you throw in a couple of spectacular ones here and there, even though I would love the veterans stopgap that we've been talking about, the Hornets are in a bad way right now. We've lost 8 in a row. It's gross. And last night I did a weekly recap, as I've gone to weekly recaps because it's just so gross to talk about and watch. But I do watch it. This year, I don't know. We're on a 6-game Western road trip. So likely not going to win anytime soon. LaMelo Ball has been amazing. That's good. But other than that, I don't know. Oh, there was another deal today. I don't know the terms of the deal. Seth Lugo to the Padres for, I don't know the terms, but that's a nice get for their bullpen. It feels like for the Padres, it's World Series or bust this year, especially because you got Manny Machado with the option to opt out, and then a lot of other things. The Fernando Tatis Jr. of it all. Juan Soto could be a free agent in 2025, I believe, if you don't get an extension there. So there's a lot of moving parts with that super team that San Diego is building. So that's an interesting one. I don't know if he could play shortstop now. I think he could. He started his career there with Baltimore, but I'm not sure. But we would have to wait till next year. And if he got $300 million in his first deal, and we saw these free agent contracts this year, I have no idea what he could get. Especially since the next year's free agent market is gross, in comparison anyway. So I don't know. But yeah, Terry Rozier's probably not going to play tonight. My dinner tonight is steak, baked potato, and green beans. My mom put it in here before I started my live, so I promise she will do it next week. For sure. But Kevin Kiermaier also signed with the Toronto Blue Jays on a 1-year deal. Michael Givens. Yeah, I promise. Next week she will. Michael Givens back with the Orioles. Kind of struggled with the Mets, so probably a good thing that he's back in a less tenuous situation. See, trying to think of. Oh, the big one. Adam Benintendi signed a 5-year, $75 million contract with the Chicago White Sox. It's a great deal for him and a great overall deal for the White Sox, probably, but I'm glad AA didn't pull that trigger, to be honest. That's the largest contract in White Sox history, which was a surprising stat. Trevor May signed with the Oakland A's 1 year, $7 million. Still don't know what the Oakland A's are doing, and I'm not sure they do either. Carlos Rodon, 120. I believe it was 126 to the Yankees. And that's kind of light considering the production, but he's had a lot of injury issues. I believe he's had Tommy John already, elbow stuff. So if that pans out and he can stay healthy, that's a bargain for the Yankees. Their rotation looks really, really solid. I think those are the biggest deals this week. And yeah, Panthers are continually giving us hope and then laying an egg and then giving us hope again. So we will see. But yeah, we still do control our own destiny. The Lions are not the Lions of old. Dan Campbell has definitely put a spark in that group. Kind of fun to see. Hopefully not see this week. But yeah, and then you've got. But in terms of the Braves, everybody's kind of writing off Eddie Rosario, and I could see him being traded because he's on a pretty good contract, 1 year, $8 million. But I also could see him going into the season, our guy against righties, because he was incredible for us in the playoff run and late September. And I'm pretty sure it's really hard to have confidence when you couldn't see for a couple of months and then trusting the eye surgery and things of that nature, trying to get back into a rhythm. So I could see it going either way with Eddie Rosario, but I don't want to write him off like others have. But if we see something to help us improve, I don't hate that either. But the outfield's going to be the most interesting thing to watch, probably. And the fifth starter spot in the rotation, we don't really have rotation depth. We don't really have rotation depth now because we traded most of that to the A's. But I think Elder and Anderson are probably the top two for me right now in the fifth starter role. We may add another reliever for insurance because Nick Anderson, the injuries, Dennis Santana kind of inconsistent from the right side. So you might see another veteran add, and Jesse Chavez. You don't know how long the magic's going to last there, so you could see that as well. But again, it's only December 19th. So a lot of time left to see if we add anything else. And it's always interesting when we make a move and you go to Twitter to see the instant reaction. It's almost like people forget that most of our core is locked up, and you're gonna get Ozzy back in a full full season of Ozzy, full season of Ronald Acuna Jr., full season of Michael Harris, full season of Spencer Strider. Obviously, knock on wood that everything works out. And things, I mean, our bargain bin shopping at the trade deadline kind of worked out. So I really can't be mad at the strategy. I really can't. So there's that. And yes, our third down defense really struggled. I think the Steelers had a total of 5 negative plays in the first half. So that's not good winning football. And yeah, I think I mentioned Michael Givens already. So we covered that. But I think our strength is going to be definitely definitely our bullpen, even with those little bit of question marks. But our bullpen is definitely going to be the best, and I think our bench has been it's kind of nice. Yeah. Yeah, what is it? Iglesias, Jimenez, Minter? Yeah. And then you got Colin McHugh. I'm really thinking Nick Anderson's going to be amazing. And just Dylan Lee, I think he's going to take a step forward, getting used to the major league workload and just how his body reacts is nice to know as well. Nice to get a handle on as well, because I didn't realize he still was in rookie status. Yates is definitely the X factor for me, because if he's half what he was in San Diego, that is going to be diamond in the rough. Yeah, just get him healthy and comfortable. Because last year you could see he was still searching as well. So that's going to be interesting to see. I think Nick Anderson's had Tommy John surgery, but I think he's coming off of a different type of injury this year. I'm not quite sure. So there's that. And I did forget that the addition of Jordan Luplow might, because pretty much if Marcell Ozuna's on the roster, he needs to be the DH, but since we added Sean Murphy, it's likely that we're going to see Travis at the DH spot a little more. So that kind of creates maybe a little bit of a log jam there that I didn't think of. So I mean, there's still some clogged. Yeah, we have. Yeah, the roster is currently at 38 right now. So that's an interesting wrinkle that I didn't factor. Yeah, you can also, but see if you also give Ronald some days off, but I don't know if Marcell Ozuna is even a quality bat off the bench at this point, unless he did some magical stuff in magical stuff in Venezuela. I don't know, because he crushed Venezuelan Winter League last year, and it didn't really translate to anything this year for the Braves. This past year rather. So there's a bit of logjam there as well. Very interesting. Again, AA is always working, so we'll see how this ends up. But I think it's getting clearer and clearer to me that Marcelo's days are numbered one way or the other. We tried to trade him twice already. The Nationals and Marlins said no thanks, so we will see. No, you're right. We don't. I don't think we do. So maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll see some more movement in the coming days, or January, if AA is spending Christmas with his family. But it'd be nice to have a couple of Christmas presents. Well, I guess Sean Murphy was a good Christmas present. It's always cold in Green Bay. But you're right. I don't think we continue to get outfield depth if we really think that Ozuna is going to be a thing. Also, in a pinch, Ejer Adrianza can play outfield as well. So there's another thing. And both of the other guys, Michael Tolman, and there was another, Hoy Park. They both can play outfield as well. So you're right. It just keeps stacking against Marcell Ozuna, and maybe, yeah, he's a utility player that can play all positions. It's for sure. So maybe Marcell Ozuna's days are numbered now that I have talked it out a little more, which I don't think any person will be sad at. And then let's see, the rotation is pretty Fried, Strider, Wright, Morton, and then you got Soroka, Anderson, Elder are my top three guys to look at for the fifth starter spot. We could also look for a veteran there. I don't know, but we haven't really. We've only Jordan Luplow is the only major league contract that we've signed this offseason. So we'll see. That's probably, I would go 120 and d'Arnaud catches 40. I would think. That is if injuries don't happen and all that stuff. Knock on wood. But yeah, I mean, I'm really feeling a big year from Matt Olson. Just coming off of not being the shadow of Freddie, things of that nature, being super comfortable with his surroundings and what he is and things of that nature. Big year from Matt Olson incoming. I'm gonna go 40 bombs and 110 RBIs for Matt. 280 average. So yeah, and the shift being banned will help. Yeah. Yeah, it's honestly though. I mean, you were right last week. It's unlikely that we do another trade. We could, but I don't see it. Just making sure that we didn't do anything while I was on the live, and we didn't. Yeah, there's 2 open spots, and some things you could still work with. Yeah. And Jordan Luplo kind of fits that mold a little bit. As well too. So yeah. Let's see. Drew Smiley will be back with the Cubs as well. I think that didn't become official yet, but yeah, the only stopgap shortstop that I can think of is Elvis Andrews. But, no, it's really not. And Jordan Luplo's the only guaranteed MLB contract that we've handed out. The rest of them have are minor league, high reward, low risk, nothing flashy, as I like to say. But yeah, it is. And 40 sellouts and 3.1 million fans. I think the X factor in our rotation is honestly going to be probably Charlie Morton at this point, to see if he can rebound and kind of not give up as many homers. But I think the last couple of years we've struggled the last couple of years in the first half. So I think the Red Sox continue to show you how not to build a team. I don't think that GM lasts past this year if he doesn't get past the start of the year if he doesn't get Devers on an extension. Speaking of extensions, Max Fried. We are not trading Max Fried maybe in 2024 before he becomes a free agent, because if things aren't going well, but we're not trading him right now just to what are you doing? What? Oh. Hi. It's fine. Okay. But yeah, that's Mom was being stealthy. But yeah, the Red Sox endeavors, that's how not to not to run an organization. You can have the greatest foundational pieces ever, and I think Shine Bloom did have that, and then he's blown it up, and Alex Anthopoulos has shown how you're supposed to keep the majority of your core together and how to get better, even letting a couple of franchise guys walk. So that's why am I necessarily beaming with joy about our roster right now? Not necessarily in some spots, because as we talked about, there's log jams and things of that nature. But until I see things like blow up in our face completely, I have no reason not to trust the way we're doing things. Will I call out Alex Anthopoulos if I don't like something? Yeah, but that necessarily hasn't happened yet, and we haven't even played any games. So I'm not gonna freak out. Not gonna judge anything until it's complete and we're in spring training and see how battles shake out. And heck, the Dodgers haven't had who's playing shortstop for the Dodgers this year, because I don't know that. The Dodgers have had a un-Dodger-like offseason. Signed Jason Hayward to a minor league deal. Just a lot of minor league deal stuff. I believe Shelby Miller. They signed Noah Syndergaard as well. I knew that. I knew there was. I forgot. So, I mean, I'm not. The Dodgers are kind of laying low, which is untypical of them. So it's kind of the same thing, but I like the Braves core better, and the pieces we're adding make a lot more sense for us going forward. And obviously a lot can change before opening day, but I still really like where we sit, and that's all that matters. I mean, not all that matters, but I feel pretty comfortable. Yes, does it feel incomplete? Yeah, but it will happen the way it happens, and we've been through the worst of the worst with the rebuilds and things of that nature, and Von Grisham can't be any worse at shortstop than Edgar Renteria. I think Edgar Renteria was really an offensive first shortstop. I don't know if Andrelton Simmons may be available, but that would be kind of a interesting back reunion type of thing. Grabbing my remote to turn on Monday Night Football real quick. I had it on already.
For gifts from the best active brands with up to 50% off sale and clearance on Nike, Champion, Under Armour, and Adidas. Plus, take up to 30% off Lego sets. Beauty Insiders get 20% off fragrances. 5 minutes, fellas. 5 minutes.
Oh, okay, you getting that bed in before the boom, huh?
Yeah, LA all the way.
What? Oh, come on, man. You know it's Boston, baby. KG, I'm sorry you said it, but it's LA. Are you serious?
You know what? It's LA.
Why are you screaming up?
Because it's LA. You know what? You ain't scared me. Let me tell you something. That is Boston,
Right.
Boston, LA.
Yeah, maybe Andrelton Simmons, but he's had shoulder injuries and mental struggles. So I don't know what his plans are, but that may be a stopgap option.
Really, it's nobody's business what you order to support
But
local business.
Other than that,
But thank you
for
supporting local business.
I think that's pretty much all I've got this week. I will start doing the team by team off-season videos. Off-season videos just to give like an in-depth look at wherever every roster is and my opinion on things. Not that everybody cares about my opinion, but I think that'll be a fun add to the off season. And yeah, Freddie and Jason are happy. That's good. Oh, did I talk Carlos Correa getting 13,350 from the Giants? Nice for the Giants to finally land that big fish they're looking for. Brandon Crawford moving to third is an interesting thing. I think Evan Longoria is still available too, as well. So I don't know if that's not an option for us. I don't think, but it's an interesting one to see where they end up. He ends up. We also. I don't think the Marlins have added anybody this offseason except Skip Schumacher, their new coach, so that's interesting. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got this week. Shorter than normal, but pretty much covered everything. And the Braves roster is still pretty stout, even though it's not flashy. And I trust Ron Washington 1,000%. So whoever is going to be in that infield is going to work their butt off as usual. So that's all that matters. As always, go Braves, champions forever. Be happy, safe, and healthy as we are steamrolling towards Christmas. Hope everybody spends it with their family and do all the fun, great stuff. And I will talk to you guys next week, the day after. And so we'll see if the roster has changed at that point. But see you guys later. As always, go Braves.
In the pocket, the Rams got to do a good job trying to get to him. Don't let him sit back there forever and make those throws. Also, don't let him scramble too much. So they got to be able to kind of slow down this run game and build.